So, Yetta, what's going to happen in the future years ahead?
Well, we're not going to pull out our crystal ball because we don't need it.
We don't have it.
And we don't have it. So we're going to look at how do we figure out what to do next.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward together with the Dekker Team.
And so we're excited and really honored, actually, that for over 30 years, we've been able to come alongside you, not only buying, selling, and investing in real estate over 3,117 times, but coming alongside you to build your fun, build your faith, build your finances, and even strengthen, heal, and flourish inside of friendships and relationships. So really 30 years of building your life, your home, and your wealth. And so what we're going to discover this time is that clarity is essential before you move forward. And how do we get clarity before you make a move?
Mm-hmm. And clarity is not necessarily knowing the future because nobody knows the future.
Right.
Right? Yeah.
So clarity is
That's
more
deep,
about,
huh?
it is. It's very good. Nobody knows the future. Well, we're not supposed to know the future. We don't even want to know the future. If we knew things, it would probably cause us more distress than if we got to live as we move forward, living in the present with taking some wisdom from the past.
Right. So what can we get clarity on?
We can get clarity on what our motive is. Why do we want to make a move? Because what we've seen, and I've certainly seen in almost 35 years in the real estate market now, that people are always moving. There has never been a market, whether it was one of the down markets, whether it was one of the crazy escalating markets in the tortoise hare analogy of the Ottawa real estate market, people still move because life still happens. There are still babies born. There are still job relocations. There are unfortunately still deaths. There's unfortunately still divorces. And so there's marriages. So there are enough reasons. There's empty nesting. There's kids going off to college. You name it, it happens. And so the motive for the move, the rationale, the reason for the move and people moving has always been and will always continue.
Right. So I think what I'm hearing you say is irrespective of the market or the future market, time your life, commit to the house, and date the rate.
Yeah, so say that again, because I think that's going to be good for people to hear one more time.
Okay, so regardless of the market or the future market, you get to time your life, commit to the house, and date the rate. Because the interest rate, it's going to change. It always does.
And we're going to move in and out of a seller's and buyer's market, and sometimes we're going to be in a balanced market, which is almost where we are now. We're still, even though it doesn't feel like it, based on the biggest criterion, which is how much inventory do we have?
Yeah, we're sitting at around 3.6 months of inventory right now.
Right, which is just moving into a balanced market because it's sort of over 3 months to 6 months of inventory is what we consider a balanced market. So we're really sitting in where there's not a lot of extra pressure on the sellers or the buyers. Although if you're a seller right now, you may feel like it isn't like that because we've come out of such an extreme seller's market.
Right.
So it's the experience of it. But if we look at in the 2000s, then the teens, the lower teens of the 2000s, most of those years were a reasonably balanced market. They were not an extreme seller's market, nor were they an extreme buyer's market. They certainly weren't a catastrophic market, either on the buy or sell side.
Right. And your days on market was sitting around 45 to 50 days in a balanced market. We're now around 30 days, a little over 30 days. And that tells me there's still demand. When the right house comes up at the right price, it still sells in a fairly expedient manner.
Well, because 30 days is fast.
Yeah, to sell a house.
Not compared to 2019 to 2020.
That's not normal to sell a house in 2 days or 1 day. And if you didn't hold offers, it was like 1 day. And the only reason our average days on market was like 7 or 8 was because people were holding offers for 7 days before they accepted one.
Right. So technically it was a 1 day market, even though the stats don't reveal that.
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And so we want to make sure that we're not taking the data and making it mean something it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So time your life, which is just look at what's up for you. What makes sense? And if you're thinking, well, I need more data, I need more information, I need to consider more things, then a 15-minute clarity call with one of us might just, well, almost I can assure you will give you the evidence of being able to sit in a firm decision.
Yeah, or even that decision might just be, hey, I need to sit down with Ken and Yetta for an hour, or they need to come over and see my house or whatever. But the clarity call will give you some direction as to what the next step is.
And that's really all we're looking for.
Yeah,
What's
exactly.
that one next step? Because we can't take two at once anyway. You've heard me say 100
Yeah.
times. I always fall flat on my face when I try and take two steps at the same time.
Absolutely. It's called a jump.
Yeah. Well,
So the beauty with our experience anyways is we've worked in down markets, we've worked in up markets, we've worked in flat markets. And so let's talk briefly about what things are to the advantage. Like if you're moving within the same market,
then as long as you have a down payment, as long as you still have equity in your house, it actually doesn't really matter whether it's an up market or a down market.
no, because if your house has gone down, so is the one you're going to buy. And if your house has gone up, so is the house you're going to buy.
Right.
So when you're moving.
Right. There's a little variable there of your downsizing versus upsizing because the percentages are going to be similar. And so,
Yeah.
you know,
and
you
location.
might, and location. So you're going to want to have a conversation about that. But really, if you're staying within the same general market, it has very little impact,
And now
whether it's going up or down.
Yeah. And I think someone, that in the heyday of times, they maybe refinanced a year or two ago. They've got a locked in low rate, but they didn't move because there was nothing to find. They wanted to move, but there was nothing to find. There was very little inventory.
Right.
This is an ideal time, especially if your mortgage is portable. Check your mortgage, call your mortgage agent, call your lender, say, is my mortgage portable? Portable means you get to take it with you. So if you've got an extreme low mortgage rate, you could buy the house that you wanted to buy 2 years ago, but you put off because the market was too crazy,
Right.
and bring your rate with you. So you take advantage of the lower prices and the low rate.
Doesn't that sound smart?
It sounds fantastic.
Right? So although there's hesitation in this market, maybe there doesn't need to be hesitation for you. Maybe it's just a matter of looking at your specific community, and we could do a custom search for you. Like once we have that clarity call, we can set up something so you can be watching it and feeling in the know, because when we're in the know, you make wise decisions.
And even though I believe 2023 will cause some adjustment because we grew too fast in 2021, 2022, it was unsustainable and it was abnormal.
Yeah.
And so we had to bring it into an adjustment. Like we didn't bring it, but the market
The
brought
market
it.
was going to
The
happen.
interest rates brought it. But what that old price that happened, that high price that happened in February
Of 22.
of 2022 sets kind of a new norm, it would be okay if it went back to that. So I think 24, 25, we're going to start to see increases moving back towards that super high. So clarity is essential to create success and achieve the goals that are meaningful. And we're honored to be on this journey with you of building wealth through real estate and living a life exponential.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward.